Football Manager is officially launched. It's time for the first main save, and something you'll hear more than once, I'd imagine. Up the bloody town. Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of this Ipswich Town Football Manager playthrough. If you're excited for the main save, excited for Football Manager to be dropped officially, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Can't wait to get into this. Some quick history about Ipswich then. In 2019, they were relegated from the Championship into League One after spending 17 seasons in the Championship, a record for consecutive years there. Now in League One, things have been going pretty poorly, but this summer, Marcus Evans sold the club to an American investment group. 19 players have been brought in, so very much doubt we'll be doing any transfer business. Currently 9th in League One in real life, 4 points off playoffs, but we're not here for playoffs. We're here to win the title. As you can see from the club vision page, promotion by winning the league is the minimum objective this season, and I have to agree, the squad is stacked for League One. It's league title automatics at a minimum. I think playoffs would be considered a failure. Obviously, I would take that, though, if that means we go up. So I've put together the tactic that I think I'm going to try and use. I've made a few, but this is what I think I'm going to try pre-season, see how it goes. Ipswich are incredibly top-heavy. Out of the 19 signings they made, all 3 of the strikers here were signed. Louis Barry was signed, Sonny Aluko, all strikers. That's 5 strikers without even mentioning the 2 or 3 they already had. So I wanted to try and make a system that fit as many of those in. Macaulay Bonne has hit the ground running for Ipswich in real life, bagging for fun. Joe Pigott scored a lot last year. Connor Chaplin's a good enough striker, especially in League One. So I had a 3 up front system, try and make it work. I think 2 pressing forwards works well. I think maybe one of them could be a deep line forward, but I think 2 pressing forwards that we can sort of set to move out wide as well, work the channels. Both Chaplin and Bonne can play in wide areas. 2 players I'm really excited to use are Scott Fraser and Raheem Harper. I think they're both really good. Scott Fraser's really well rounded. I've actually played Ipswich in the beta save with Watford in the Cup, and he scored an absolute rocket against us. Go check that out. I'll leave a link to the Watford beta save in the description. Raheem Harper, still only 21. I feel like he burst on the scene for West Brom so early. There's just so much to like about him. Great physically, lots of potential. Could be in this side, probably to the Premier League, to be honest, if we get there. Some nice traits, knocks ball past opponents, suits his physicality, runs with ball often. I'm not sure about, but he's playing a box-to-box, so maybe. Short, simple passes is fine. So with that in mind, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the halfback and the wing-backs. I've gone with Matt Penny to start, because going forward, he's better than the other option we had. Physically, he's lacking a lot, though, so we'll see how Penny gets on. The other option is Hayden Coulson, on loan from Middlesbrough. Not quite as good going forward, probably a bit better defensively, but definitely better physically, especially in terms of acceleration, agility, pace, stamina. We'll give them both some time pre-season to see if one stands out more than the other. I think just from playing this game in other saves, Penny with his attributes going forward is probably going to be the option. Kane Vincent-Young on the other side then, I think Ipswich fans love this guy in real life. Blackburn and Huddersfield want him championship size. We will do all we can not to sell him. A few gaps mentally, which isn't great, but physically really good and good enough technically that I think he'll have a big impact in this side. Sam Morsey's going to play as this halfback then. Besides his jump and reach, which, as I mentioned again in that Watford beta save where we also played a halfback, I don't think jump and reach is even really a requirement for the halfback role. Great first touch, marking, passing, tackling, all really good. Mentally incredible. Everything above 10 besides flair, which he doesn't need. Aggressive, brave, great determination. Teamwork and work rate high. I'm really excited to use him. At the back then it'll be Wolfenden, and Cameron Burgess is in there at the minute because of an injury to Edmondson, who I definitely think will be the starter. I really like the look of Edmondson. He's out for 2 months at the minute with a hamstring strain, which is a bit of a problem, but definitely someone I want to partner Wolfenden rather than Cameron Burgess, who I'm not particularly that impressed with. Good all-rounder, and he'll definitely do for pre-season and a good enough backup. We're going to need as many players as possible during this long season, but not a starter for me. And then Ladke, I believe it's pronounced, in goal. Honestly, looking at him, I cannot believe Salford had him in League Two. Just an exceptionally good goalkeeper. Punching's quite high and eccentricity is a bit high, which is a bit of a concern, but as an out-and-out goalkeeper, you can't ask for much more. Throw-in, reflexes, one-on-ones, all really good. Handling, kicking. Communication is the only thing lacking, but mentally and physically really good. I think we've got a really good goalie there for at least 2 or 3 seasons, to be honest. As mentioned then, I'm pinning a lot of hopes on Macaulay Bonne just because of how well he's done in real life. Quick Google search will just tell you then in 15 game strips, which so far this season, he's got 11 goals. Absolutely clinical for Leyton Orient when he was there. Got his big move to Charlton. Things didn't go amazingly. Big money spent by QPR, didn't really happen for him in the Championship. Hopefully, though, we get a good run up from him. Joe Pigott then is not blessed physically, but mentally incredible and finishing really high. I've got him as our advanced forward, which again may change. I actually think maybe a deep line forward in the middle, he could do a bit better. That could be the role we do, and then we have 2 pressing forwards around him, like this. Chaplin then pressing forward attacks his natural role. That's what we're going to have him in. Strength not great, jump and reach not great. He's fairly short, but quick, well-rounded mentals and good enough technicals that we should see goals from him. As mentioned with Pigott, if playing with that deep line forward role, he'll be more of the link and perhaps look to create, but 20 goals last year in this division in real life for Wimbledon. Ipswich signed him on a free. So we're going very attack heavy with this midfield, box to box and Mezzala. If we want to change things and play a deep line playmaker, Fraser can play that. I'm sure Harper will do a job, but we also have the likes of Lee Evans, who was again brought in over the summer on a free. A really well-rounded player, would definitely do a job, definitely good enough to play in this division. Former Spurs and Swansea QPR boy Tom Carroll has got some really good technicals, really good mentals, would be really good for mentoring this year. And again, if we play that deep line playmaker, it's probably Hachi's not starting for us given his ability, but I want to use them younger boys and the other two. I feel like there's a lot of running in there. Them two really suit it. Again, another unlucky one to miss out by Sansolina. Had a really good loan spell at Ipswich before from Man City. Hasn't really gone for him so far. We're not starting him, so perhaps it's not going to go for him again. But we've got a very basic 4-2-3-1 set up if we want to use it. And I've also got a 3-back, which I think, having used this system in another save, I know it works well. I'm not quite sure we have the centre-halves for it at the minute, but this is another really good system we could potentially use that I think would work really well with the players we have. It would also mean we can move Fraser into this attacking midfielder role where he's at his best. But for now, then, this is what we're going to stick with. This is what I'm going to try throughout pre-season. So as you can see then from both these lists, a lot happened over the summer for Ipswich. New owners, everything changed. Lots of players went out. Lots of players came in. 750k on Edmondson, Scott Fraser, 750k, 500 on Cameron Burgess, who's a third choice centre-back. Plenty movement in and out. Looking at it, this 300k, which isn't too bad, and I did not think there'd be anything, to be honest with you. 5k, so we've got room to manoeuvre. I don't think we need anyone necessarily. Maybe one more centre-half, as I do not like Toto Enciala. I think he's terrible. We'll be looking to move on players like Miles Kenlock, like James Norwood. But as a squad goes, it's fairly set. And this squad assembled then has us predicted second in the league. Wycombe relegated, Rotherham relegated, Sheffield Wednesday relegated, all up there. The likes of Charlton, Portsmouth. But as I said at the start, I think we should be winning this division. I think we've got enough players. And if we maybe bring on 1 or 2 more, maybe just really good loan signings, I think we should be aiming to win that division. So in terms of youngsters at Ipswich, there's not too much going on. One really good-looking prospect in Nico Valentine, 16-year-old young winger, can play so many positions. Lots of work needs doing if he ever wants to hit that, but it's the best we've got at the minute. Under 23s then, Idris we could probably use, to be honest. I'm surprised he's not, so I'm going to instantly move him to the senior squad. He might be somebody we look to loan out, to be honest, to get football, because we've got a lot of players in that position, but looks really good at 20 years old. And of course, if you didn't know, Louis Barry's here on loan. Isn't actually featuring, I don't think, in real life, but at 18, looks really good. He's probably the best youngster at the club at the minute. Finances then, I think we need to get out of this division as quickly as possible. 2.5 million in the bank. I already know without clicking the projection it's not going to last. There we go. We're predicted to lose a lot of money. I don't even think getting into the championship will necessarily help us, but we need to get into the championship as quickly as possible. With the new owners, I don't know what they're set as in the game file. There might be some sort of sugar daddy, so you might get some investment here and there when we go into negatives, but can't be relying on that. We need to get ourselves out of this division and into the Premier League as fast as possible. So a full pre-season fixture list, I'm going to go through them off camera. I'm going to end the episode there, try and keep this one short and sweet, introduce you to the club. If you have enjoyed this and you are looking forward to the Ipswich save, make sure to hit that like button. Next time we come back then, we're going to have the opening day against Morecambe and Northampton in the Cup. Get a look at this team. I'll show you all the results from the friendlies that we play. And hopefully you're as excited as I am to get stuck into this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.